All right, thank you so much. This is KBC Channel 1. Indeed, we are just about to have a very important conversation, just 31 days to the August polls. And we just want to look at the state of preparedness of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. A lot has been done so far from when the election calendar was declared to today. And of course, in the remaining few days still, there is a lot of ground to cover. And that is what we want to assess. And joining me for this important conversation is the Vice Chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, Ms. Juliana Cherera. Thank you for creating time for us.
Thank you, Serfine. Thank you for having me to the studio today.
Must be a very busy season for you as a commission. So let me start by saying we really appreciate you creating time for us once again. And I've just cited that it's 31 days to the August polls. Probably a good point to start would be, what is the status of the commission in terms of, the electoral calendar? Are you on track?
Okay, thank you, Serfine. Yes, in terms of preparedness, as IEBC, as the Commission, we are on track. Remember, 20th of January this year, we gazetted the election timelines, and already we kick-started the activities and the statutory timelines that are there. We have done the enrollment, the continuous voter registration, and then we did the enhanced version of continuous voter registration. After that, we finished with that and we went to the candidate registration phase, which all of us know that we registered the candidates, finished with that, and did the dispute resolution process. We finished that, and then it rolls. This election is a process whereby one activity gives room to the next to roll out. So currently, we have the candidates already in place. We have gazetted the candidates list, though the government printers has not published it out. But as at 30th of June, we had signed out that candidate list. It was received, and by 1st of July, they had started the process to publish it. But because of some hitches here and there, it is not yet out. But according to us, that stage was already done. So we have now kicked off the printing of the ballot papers. Remember, the supplier had 30 days to do this work, and from the 1st of July, they started the printing. And yesterday, we received the first bunch of ballot papers. On the ground, what is happening, our returning officers in the counties and the constituencies have recruited staff, and training is going on. We also have a training that is currently going on, what we call the Election Security Arrangement Program, whereby our staff are taken through how to handle security matters, and we are collaborating with the National Police Service and all the agencies that are in charge of that docket.
All right,
so we are ready.
You are ready. That's good to hear, though. You've talked about the gazettement of the candidates who were cleared by the commission, and talked about the delays in the printing of this gazette. Is there like a tentative or day that, as a commission, you expect that the government printers ought to finalize this, that Kenyans should anticipate? Because it has elicited a bit of concern as well.
Basically, from our end, we expected by 1st or 2nd it will have been published. It has taken too long.
Is it concerning you, and what are you doing about it?
It is concerning us, but for us, you see, we have a deadline to meet. We have the 9th of August, which by tomorrow it will be exactly 30 days. We need to be ready to ensure that Kenya will have the election. So we are saying, as long as we gave out the list of candidates and it has been received and stamped, the fault is not on us as IEBC. There is another phase that needs to roll out. Remember, I said one phase gives room to the next. So after the gazettement, we roll out the printing. But now the fault is on the government printers, not on us. And we cannot delay. Look, today is 8th, and it has not been published. So you want to tell us that we wait for this printing to begin at what time, and other activities need to roll?
So moving on is the option for the Commission?
Moving on is the only option.
I understand that there's so little time left and so much to do for you as a Commission. And you said that you have begun the process of printing the ballot material. Yesterday, we saw the first batch land in the country. But how are you dealing with the issues emerging, such as those candidates that had been barred from vying? The High Court the other day, gave a ruling that, sort of like opened the window for those who had been blocked from vying based on the fact that they didn't meet the threshold of supporters list and ID's requirement. There's still a bit of question as to whether they should be included in the final list of those who are vying. Plus, we still have other candidates who have active cases in court. As you continue with your activities as a Commission, are you also sensitive to any emerging issues that may arise based on these legal developments?
Yeah, thank you, Serfine. That is a very good question. As a Commission, we proceeded to go print, but we only authorized the printing of the ballot papers and the candidates that do not have issues. All the candidates that have issues in the High Court, we have not authorized their printing. So we are still on the waiting mode to wait and see what the High Court will say about it, then we'll print. And if we have printed and the High Court says otherwise, we will do accordingly. Yes, we are a commission that follows the law. If they say you add, we will add. If they say remove, we will remove. Yes, but you see, timelines are very important for us. And at this time, I wish to say something that kindly, the judiciary and the High Court, they should expedite these cases because they have a bearing on the timelines on IEBC.
Just still related to the same matter, the Commission cleared certain candidates who later on their clearance were challenged without mentioning names because some cases are still active in court. What does this tell us about the fact-checking and the backgrounding that the Commission does before they settle on clearing a candidate?
Okay, without mentioning names,
Yes.
but the cases that we have...
A candidate was cleared, but later on... challenged.
There are some that we have not appealed, but there are others we have appealed, especially if we see that it is in breach of a clause that is in the Elections Act or the Constitution. As a commission, we are saying no. The ruling was based on ABCD, so we go to the higher court and appeal. Yes.
So what I wanted to get clearly from you was the fact that some feel that this could actually put a dark spot on the Commission, that you give a candidate a green light to vie in an election, but later on questions about it could be integrity issues, it could be academic certificates are raised, and validly so evidence is put on the table, and this candidate seemingly appears to be having questions. So that decision by the Commission to clear this person to vie, yet there are other bodies that may have issues, to put on this candidate that may initially have blocked him from vying, him or her. Does that...
Serfine, let me put it very clear.
Yeah.
Our returning officers, they have a checklist. So before they clear a candidate, they follow the checklist. And this checklist is informed by the law. The same law that the High Court will look into, and maybe other cases that they will compare. So there is nobody that our arrows have cleared and has been challenged, to do otherwise. All those cases are still pending in court. And the ones that have come to us, we have appealed because we are double sure that our returning officers followed a checklist, and this checklist is by law.
So let's move on. On the issue of the ballot papers that are in the country, what has been done to ensure their security and also to avert any attempts to tamper with them, just to assure us that they are safe?
Nobody can be able to tamper with what is in the custody of IEBC because they are guarded, they are under security, and they're taken to a warehouse which is manned 24/7. So and they will be open at a particular time. They'll be inspected, yes, and stored, but officially open at a particular time.
Just to what extent would you say these legal battles have impacted your operations as a commission, and what are you doing to avert or just to reduce, because I know you cannot completely eliminate people challenging your position as a commission, but what are you doing so that in future you limit such cases, so that you, according to your timelines, you move?
Let me go back to 2017. There were many cases that went to court after the election, but just a few, just 11 saw the light of the day. So what does it tell you? That as IEBC, we do our job carefully and very well. That even when you go to court, very few will get a positive ruling, yes, as opposed to what people think. So with that post-election evaluation, we have now the confidence that our procedures and our processes are in accordance to the law. And even if you go to the High Court, there is just a slim percentage that our ruling is going to be averted. And what we are doing about it, because currently what we are facing is the late determination of those cases, which have an impact on our timelines. For example, now we want to really proceed 100% and print the ballot papers, but we are not able to. So that's why previously I said I will just urge the judiciary to expedite on the determination of those cases, because this country, we want to move forward. We want to have our election on the 9th of August. Every part of this country, we want to be prepared.
All right. So you talked earlier about stakeholder engagement as part of the activities that as a commission you have embarked on as you prepare for this election. What are the priority areas that you have been focusing on in these stakeholder engagements? Because just as late as a few days ago, some political players have been complaining about the procurement processes by the commission. Others have threatened to boycott the election if perhaps the commission does not have a backup of a manual register. We've had also allegations of, just sort of queries on what the commission has done to ensure transparency of this particular election. What is it that you are really focusing on in the stakeholder engagements, and why are we suddenly hearing complaints at the very last minute towards the election?
Thank you. I think basically stakeholder engagement is to have a discussion, a roundtable discussion of it. As the commission, we've been doing that. We've been having press briefings once in a week, but now henceforth we are increasing it to 2 times and even daily. Yes, and in those engagements, as you have seen, there was that meeting last week on Wednesday. We had the presidential aspirant candidates that we met, and we had dialogue, and some issues came up. We invited them to go to the warehouse to see the production of the KIMS kit. That happened yesterday. They got the opportunity to be there and to be taken round and to ask every question that they wanted to ask. We've also opened up the space to have them come into the office and have a one-on-one with us, because we believe that opening up the space to dialogue is the only way to go into a credible election that everyone has confidence in it.
So are they justified to raise these complaints now, the complaints that we hear at the campaign rallies, and are they addressing those complaints with you officially? As a commission, have they addressed those with you?
Yes, they are justified to raise any query, anything that they feel is bald, it's grey. They have the right to ask. And everyone has a right to ask for the sake of bringing clarity and for the sake of transparency. What they say in the political rally is not necessarily for us, because they are politicians and they have to do what they need to do. But for us, if they bring an official document and they say these are the questions we are asking, we ask for response, we do that. Or if they say can we come to your offices? We have issues we need to discuss. We say, yes, come. And that is the way to go.
So have they filed a complaint, an official complaint concerning the choice of informed lycos and
many times
allegations of it being in close relations with a key politician in the country? Have you received that from? Have you? No. So it's just a campaign rally declaration.
Personally, I've just seen it in the papers, but if it was officially received, it will be responded to. Yeah, but we endeavor to engage even the more, because going forward, if everyone is on the same playing field with the knowledge that we have, with the knowledge that they have, the clarity that they seek and they are given, we believe that this election is going to be credible, and the winner or the loser, they'll know that they have fairly lost or fairly won. Yeah.
Voter register vis-a-vis the manual voter register has been the elephant in the room. I believe even some of these complaints are based on that. An assurance from you, Vice Chair, on why the Commission has settled to prioritize the electronic voter register. It must have been informed by something.
Yeah. Everything that we do is informed by the law and the rulings that have been there. So 2017, it was ruled out that the primary source of the register should be the electronic one, which is already fitted in the KIMS kit. Then, if it fails, then we use the manual register. So on that basis, that is what we are using, and that is what we are propagating. But this issue is in court. So let's leave it to the court to decide. But we are ready. When we met the presidential candidates on Wednesday last week, we agreed finally that we are going to print the manual register in anticipation with whatever ruling that the High Court will give. Yes.
Right.
So we are set.
All right. Yeah. On election day, what are some of the expectations? We want an assurance from your commission that things will run smoothly. You're addressing Kenyans right now. What are some of the expectations as somebody is coming to the polling station that would give them that assurance that you have done what it takes to ensure that this actually is a good experience for each and every one of them?
Thank you. At the polling station, we've made mechanism to ensure that there is transparency. When you come to the polling station, there are expectation you're asked of your ID, and someone checks the ID and your face and gives it to the first clerk, and the first clerk asks you to put your finger on the BVR kit. So that procedure, we have ensured that the voter education process is ongoing. It is ongoing in the grassroots, in our constituency level. Our returning officers are having stakeholders engagement, and they are training people on how to vote, the voting process, and the tallying and the result management. So with that voter education process, we assure that we're going to get a high level of preparedness from the people. Our people will know how to vote. We'll have less of the spoiled ballot papers, and the turnout, we expect the turnout to be high. Something else that we've done, we have partnered with security agency to ensure that we have security for our staff, security for the materials, security for the voters. And still the National Police is manning the whole country, and basically to ensure that we have a peaceful process. And you'll come to the polling station, you will vote, and you'll go back home. Another thing that we've ensured a good experience with our brothers and sisters who are living with disability, we've ensured that this time round, if they come to the polling station, they will be given priority. Just like the pregnant women will be given priority and the women with small babies. Something funny that happened in 2017, that there is this scenario because people are given priority with babies and we have a baby exchange hands.
Yeah. So the same baby.
They are baby for hire.
7 mothers or 7.
Yes, to a point that baby had to be marked. Yes, so as we provide good experiences to people who deserve, Kenyans, let's just ensure that this is for the people that deserve this good experience. Yes.
There's a major event that the Commission is planning, that is the National Election Conference. Perhaps why is this important? What is the theme, and who is being targeted with this conference?
Yes, the National Election Conference is a big event that we invite our stakeholders, we invite Kenyans to come forth. We show the level of preparedness. We have invited regional election management bodies to come and to share their experiences, so that in that sharing process we can learn and they can also learn from us. We have invited, most importantly, the presidential candidates, the four of them, so that they can come and pledge for peace in this process and this election, which that is very key in this conference, to show that they really mean it, that they'll ensure a peaceful process, and even after election, whatever the result will be, they will follow the channels and the judicial process that have been provided if you have issues with the elections. So basically, we just are looking forward to have a peaceful election, and that's the reason for the election conference, for Kenyans now to see how we have prepared. We'll be having tents outside, exhibitions, booths, whereby people can walk in and see how we are prepared, and our staff there will be able to ask questions. We have invited development partners also to put exhibitions booth. We have also invited our sister agencies, commissions, to also put their booths, because in one way or another, this election is not only for IEBC. We cannot do it alone. Every commission, every government agency, they have a part and a role that they play in this. So as much as we are independent, we know that every person has a part to play, and collectively we are going to ensure a peaceful process.
Are the dates and venue out yet?
Yes. We begin with a National Election Conference on Sunday, where we begin from 9 to 2 p.m. Then now the real conference begins on Monday. Is it 11th or 12th Monday?
That's 11th.
Yeah, I've seen it's a public holiday, but yes, as IEBC, we are on, because we don't have the time. We don't have weekends, we don't have public holidays, unfortunately so, but we'll be on, so it will be on Monday and Tuesday at KICC.
You've talked about very strict timelines you're working on as IEBC. In the next days, it's about just 31 days to the next general election. What are you going to be prioritizing? What key activities are you going to maximize your time on?
Everything has been planned. Everything we have their flow chart about it. So as I said, we've done recruitment. So training is going on for the staff that have been recruited. We have voter education taking center stage. At this time, you'll be seeing more of us at the studios. You'll see more of our advertisements. Our advertisement range from voter education. It ranges to peaceful messages. It goes to the result path. It goes to determining misinformation and disinformation, because we've realized that many people want to speak for us. And as IEBC, we say Kenyans, the truthful information, the factual information comes from IEBC. So if it is not from us, it is not us. So check the source of your information. So those are the things that we are going to prioritize, we are going to look into. There's a lot of smearing campaign, and we'll ensure that as much as we are in this environment, we will endeavor to tell the truth, the factual truth, to be credible to the people. And we are saying as IEBC, really we don't have anything to hide, because if we hide something, this process is going to be flawed. And that is the last thing that we want. We are Kenyans and we belong to this country, so we'll do our best.
All right. Oh, so we've come to the end of this conversation, but just before we close it up, in this country we are coming from a history of disputed elections that has taught us that never again do we want to ever end up in that space. We lose so much time, so much money, even lives sometimes when we have those disputed elections. What is your commitment as IEBC to ensure that we do not have a repeat of this? Who do you think should do what so that we vote on the 9th of August, then lives moves on, and also your message of peace as we bring this to a close?
Very important. As I said previously, election is a process, and throughout the process, we've ensured that we follow the legal provisions. We've ensured that we follow the statutory timelines. We've ensured that we have done everything that we are supposed to do. Why? We don't want the election to be nullified because of the process. So come the final end, the same commitment we've been having, it is the same commitment we are taking it through to the end of this process. And what we'll tell Kenyans is that we want a smooth process. The day, was it yesterday, we were having a meeting with KBC, Private Sector Alliance, and it was clear with them that as business people, they're looking forward to a smooth transition. We want to vote, and the next day, the Mama Mboga can put out their groceries. We are looking forward to the ones selling fish can put out their karai and continue with their businesses. And election does not mean the end of our lives. We'll choose leaders, and after 5 years, we'll choose them again. So my message to Kenyans is that let's have a peaceful election. Be responsible for your peace, and be a peacemaker, and ensure that you are at peace with your neighbor. Differences with our political affiliations and the candidates we love does not mean that we are going to be enemies. You've been my neighbor, and we'll not stop being neighbors after election. Yeah, you are my workmate, and we'll not stop being workmates. And anyway, after elections, our salaries will not change anyway. So let's take care of ourselves, and the future will be good. Thank you.
That salary part, though, that's a matter of wait and see. But thank you so much. Thank you so much for creating time for us. Juliana Cherera, the Vice Chairperson of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. I believe we are going to be having more engagements on this even as we get closer to the August polls. Thank you for watching. My name is Serfine Achieng. God bless.